your father, and some of the information is a little tricky to kind of get. He owned the Blue Sox. Is that the team that you're talking about there? Or is that something different?
So that's the professional team. It's later on, once we had gotten through Kings Langley Baseball Club, which is the local club, and then you can go on and play at different levels, right, as you get older. But this is the Australian Baseball League that they have today, and back then they were called the Sydney Blue Sox, which they still are today, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, they still have the Blue Sox there, and various other teams in Adelaide and all the different states. But he was a GM of that team, and probably had some part ownership in it or whatever. But yeah.
Okay, so he helped build the sport as it is today in Australia. Is that safe to say?
He's in the Hall of Fame, Australian Hall of Fame, on the other side of things. I'm in there for playing, and I believe he's in there on the other side of things. So it's we both went hand in hand. He was on one side of the game, playing it himself a little bit for fun, and I was growing and eventually get to a certain age where I wanted to make a career of it. But at the time, I didn't realize that earlier on.
Right. So that's awesome. So your dad was on the admin side, the organizational side, and then you were on the playing side. That's got to be pretty good for you, though, being a pro guy and seeing a little bit on the inside as a young kid on how the admin work, because baseball is a little tricky from the administrative and organizational side, right?
Yeah, so he started out on the coaching side because he was just coaching the teams. I mean, whenever we get into something, he kind of just goes head first into it, right? So he's coaching me as we're learning the game. So he was a coach, coached at all levels, coached all the way up to Australian levels, and then got into the admin side of it too. But always heavily involved in the game, yeah. So, but like you said, I got to see sort of how he ran the, our professional league in Australia, I guess, when I got a little older and things like that. And realizing now there's a lot to that, obviously, in the game here on the major league side. It's a whole different ball game, but yeah, it's a business, right?
It is, and once you learn, when you're a kid going up, you play for such a passion, and you play it for the love, and then the business thing can kind of, I don't want to say taint it, but it puts a different light on it. And once you accept that, it's not that big a deal. But sometimes guys can bump their head on that, like, holy crap, this is a business. And it is. I mean, how do you think you get your paycheck?